Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to use the curves panel adjustment layer in Photoshop to non-destructively dodge and burn an image. So first we are going to select the object selection tool in the left hand toolbar, and then we're going to select this person on the bench. And you'll see Photoshop draws a line more or less around the bench and the person. If we need to add to that selection, we're going to hold down the shift and drag to add to it. And if we need to take some parts away, we're going to use the lasso tool, hold down the option key, and then draw with the lasso tool to refine the selection. So to review, we've used the object selection tool to make a selection. We've added to it by holding the shift button and reselecting. We've taken away different parts by using the lasso tool and holding option key to refine that selection. Next, we are going to add a new curves layer to the right hand panel. And in that layer, you will see this selection come across as the mask. So we will adjust the color and the lightness, darkness of this figure in the foreground by pulling on the curves within that adjustment layer. And then lastly, we will scroll down and feather the mask so that the adjustment blends into the rest of the image. Next, we're going to add another curves layer. Hold down the option key and drag the mask that we created in the previous layer up to the empty mask. And we're going to scroll down and invert that mask so that we can adjust all the other areas that we haven't adjusted. And then we're going to pull on those curves until we get to a level that we feel is appropriate for the lighting. Notice you will be able to adjust individual colors as well as the overall color scheme, and this is helpful for a picture like this where you might want to add a little bit more of the reds and the magentas to give it kind of that glow that is natural with a sunset. And I found that this is actually a really helpful way to make adjustments because you aren't actually destroying any data, and you can go back in later and fix things or readjust things as needed. So next we are going to add another layer. This is going to be a third curves layer, and we are going to adjust the curves to add more contrast and brightness. It will be darker in some areas and lighter in others. This is going to allow us to use a brush tool to go back in and burn areas where we want to add a more vibrant effect to the trees. Notice that as you make adjustments within the curves panel here, you can adjust each color individually, and it's really handy if you select the anchor point on the curve itself, then you can pull it down and then use your arrow keys to gradually adjust those layers back up or down, because sometimes it's hard. At least with mine, I don't have a mouse, so with my fingers I can't always fine-tune those adjustments like the arrow keys will help me to do. Next, switch the primary color swatch on the left bottom side of your screen from white to black, and then make sure that your mask is selected for that third curve. Use the keyboard shortcut Option Delete on a Mac or Alt Delete for Windows and switch that mask to black. Tap the B key on your keyboard to select a brush. Then you can adjust the size by tapping the right or left bracket key to make it bigger or larger. Now switch the color that your paintbrush is applying to white in the left bottom side of your screen. Tap the 2 key to change the opacity of your brush to 20%. This allows you then to brush over the treed area multiple times and burn through that black mask gradually to reveal the colors that you want to come out more prominently. And as you go over it, it burns more and more through the mask. And it's hard to see the adjustment on the image itself. So if you look at the mask in the right kind of bottom corner, you'll see that it's getting lighter and lighter where your brush strokes are going. Now uncheck the eye and you can see the adjustment. It's subtle, but it's decidedly different where you've brushed, and you can go back in and brush over places where you want to reveal more until you get to a place where you are happy with how everything looks. Lastly, go back down to the bottom of your mask menu and adjust the feathering so that everything will be sure to blend in. And that is how we do non-destructive burning and dodging with the curves adjustment in Photoshop.